Greetings, this is Frosty Thundertrod, Telnar Beastmaster of the Thunder Guard, and this is last week in testing for Ashes of Creation Alpha 2 for the week of October 11th through, no, yeah, October 5th through October 11th. That's correct. Alright, so on the main test server, just a few small fixes, no big deal. On Friday, there was a pretty big event on the PTR where they were testing the raid mechanics. So, as I understand, that went pretty well. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate in that, but I was really hoping to get in and get a chance to mess around with the summoner some more. But my node of Kaltorum has leveled up quite a bit, and I'm going to show you what it looks like now as I start to run through it. Look at just how much this has changed. One thing I still don't like is, we have the settlement right there. But then, right over here, you look down and it's just completely surrounded by enemies and mobs. I mean, there's the city right there, and there's all the monsters. Or, I think in real world, this would probably be declared a siege. I mean, there's the city, there's all the enemies. I would think that if they were in a more realistic environment, this roadway would be clear and any hostiles would be like back up on this ridge or whatever. But the mob placement and mob density in the anvils has always been a problem here since it was added to the Alpha 2. So let's go ahead and take a run through the city here. Tell you what, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Summon my ram. Cast Strider on my ram. And here we are. I really like the look of this settlement. Although it doesn't really scream Dwarven. Especially with all these human guards. But the roads are pretty good. We have changes in elevation, but no stairs. That's excellent. Here's the primary market area. Then over here, sure, it's the warehouse. The extra NPCs are a nice touch. In case you're wondering, that wasn't a bug. That was a rogue riding their mount in stealth. And then as soon as you step out the south gate, you find yourself facing enemies right at the gate itself. Although, to be honest, there are no gates here. Looks like there might be a portcullis. Is there a portcullis up there? Yep, there is a portcullis up there, so technically it is a gate. Although I would back up the portcullis with a actual solid wooden doors. Then you have the inner wall. Yeah, this over here is a bit of a security vulnerability. There should be some sort of a gate structure over here. Because right now, an enemy can just get down here on the beach and just come in through this gap in the walls. There's even a road leading right up to it. Granted, if the city defenses, kind of focus over here, they can provide some covering fire, but if you stay close to this wall here, you're kind of shielded from fire from the towers. So I'd say that's a design flaw that needs to be fixed. Here's the Ember Shrine, which it's kind of tucked away and hidden. I would think that this would have a more prevalent position instead of just being kind of hidden over here out of the way. Little fountain and courtyard, kind of nice. This looks like a church, but it's just a decorative building. It has no real function. And here we are at the town hall. This really does give northern France vibes, I think. Sheriff. Lance Walker. Leto. Huh. Alright. So, this is... I'm kind of happy with the way that the town is, settlement is developing, other than the gap in the wall over by the water. And this has not really been that eventful of a week, but the testing on PTR for the raids, I think, was a much needed test to try to get the raids working better. So, with that said, thank you very much for watching.